Da, 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 da. Hi and welcome to the maanknitwear YouTube channel. My name is Umbriel and I am wearing my sweater 15. Da, 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 da. Okay, that's what I'm wearing, but today is not an podcast episode. It will be a spring patterns episode. So sometimes I do these pattern videos on my channel, and today there's another one because spring is coming up. So I'm still cozy in a warm sweater because the weather in the Netherlands has been very cold, but I have been looking forward to the spring so much. It's crazy that it's the end of April and it's still cold, and then I still don't feel like spring is here, but I have my laptop here with me, so that's why I'm looking down every once in a while. I have a bunch of patterns for you, a lot of sleeveless tops, some like longer tops, some vests that could be cool for spring, and at the end I even have some free sock patterns. The goal of this video is to have some size inclusive patterns for you guys, because I have noticed that a lot of really nice tops or springy, summery patterns have been lacking size inclusivity. So that's why I'm bringing you all the size inclusive patterns today that you can knit for spring. So that's why most of them are paid for. So let's start with a top that has really, I thought this is such a beautiful top. So it's the Tekla top by Milena Juhola. And it is knit in a light fingering weight on 3.5mm needles. It comes in 9 sizes. And it only has one project on Ravelry, which is very surprising to me. So this one should deserves some love. It is a light and airy top. I think it is knitted in a cashmere, that's the recommended yarn, but you could knit it in any light fingering way that you want. And she, the designer, describes it as like a loungewear top. So she has some pictures of like it being like loungewear, but I also see that she styled it like over a long sleeve top with a skirt, which looks super good too. So yeah, it looks like a really nice spring top. The next top is the Palma top by Pernille Larsen. Pernille Larsen is the designer of the Knitting for Olive designs. At least I've seen her name with almost all of them. Maybe there's more, but I'm not aware of that. This top comes in sizes from XX small, so double X small, to 4XL. And it's knitted in a fingering weight on 3mm needles. And I feel like it just got out like in March this year. And I feel like it's like a beautiful alternative to the camisole number 7 of My Favorite Things knitwear. But then this one is size inclusive fur, more size inclusive. And I really like the, is it broken rib? Broken rib details. I think it's broken rib. It has like a really nice texture. It follows these lines and then you increase on like the lines on the side, just like my sweater here did. Yeah, and it looks super nice and airy for spring and summer. Then on to the next pattern. This is the Milk top by Le Pole. I have quite a few Le Pole patterns in this list because I've noticed that they are all very size inclusive. This one goes from extra small to 4XL. It is knitted on a 7mm needle, so we'll like knit up so quickly. And the thing I really like about it is the like, it's super like modern, like trendy. The like 2 like buttons that you can't really see, so I don't actually know how they close it, but it goes like with like hooks, I guess. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, the hook and eye. So it's like a hook and eye that is put together, and because it's knitted in a 7mm needle, it will knit up super fast. This one, the recommended yarn is alpaca boucle, so boucle yarn, but I bet you can just like switch it up to something else, maybe use some brushed alpaca silk. That would make a really nice and airy top. So brushed alpaca silk, or maybe a suri or something like that, and you wouldn't need a lot of yarn at all. Like they say 150 to 300 meters for all the sizes. So that sounds super good. Then going on to a very similar design, which is knitted on a 5mm needle, but it is like almost the same thing. So it has two of these closures at the front. It is the Vacation Vest by Park Williams. And this one is actually knitted in a Pima cotton yarn, which I learned to love Pima cotton. So Pima cotton is different from normal cotton in that the strands are longer, so it holds a lot more structure, stability, and it will pill a lot less. So sometimes, especially mercerized cotton, which is basically superwash cotton, it like pills a lot, so you won't have that with Pima cotton. And it is a very size inclusive pattern. I know that Park Williams, Park and Knit, she always makes sure that her patterns are very size inclusive. So it goes from an extra small to the 5XL. And it just looks like a perfect top. I am subscribed to the Park Williams newsletter, and when she released this top, she said something in the email like the first 10 people who download it get it for free. And I received the email, and I saw it immediately when I got it. I went online and I was too late. So I was like, wow, people are really, really liking this top. And I was so surprised that I was too late, because I was like, I saw the email, I read it, and then I knew I was too late already. So that was pretty crazy. It was like within 5 minutes or less, I don't know. But if you're interested in these kind of like hip, trendy kind of things, Park Williams has a lot more patterns that are beautiful and like similar style, I guess. And so does Le Pool. So I really like those two designers, and they're both very size inclusive. This one is super on trend, but in a totally different way. So it has these stripes, and it has like a little half zip at the front. It is the For Mentor by, it says Quill Studio, but it is published in a Rowan magazine. So it has these like stripes and a half zip. It is a sleeveless top, and it's knitted in cotton on a 4mm needle for the main part of it. And I think it looks really nice. I think we're gonna see this type of top a lot, like this summer. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. And yeah, if you start knitting it now, then you'll be you have one of those tops for yourself. I really think it looks super good. It's like a mash between like the like polo neck that we've seen, the half zip that we've seen, the stripe like at the bottom of garments that we've seen, but then with a sleeveless top. I think it looks super good. Yeah, so another pattern that I found from a Rowan magazine that is kind of similar but with a lot less hassle, because you don't have to add in a zipper, is Padron by Chloe Thurlow. By the way, I haven't mentioned this, but all the information will be down below in the description box. So you'll find all the links. You don't have to write anything down or Google anything. Just go in the description box and click on the link to go to the Ravelry page. Well, this padron, is also a sleeveless summer top with a polo neck. So it doesn't have any closure here, but I feel like this one is so on trend as well. Good job, Rowan. And it is knitted in a DK weight yarn on 3.75mm needles, or US 5, I'm sorry. And it only uses like less than 1,000 meters of DK weight yarn. So it's a really nice one. And it comes as a Ravelry download, so you can buy it. You can also buy a bundle. And I have another pattern that goes into the same bundle, so which has a lot of like beautiful summery tops. So I'll link that bundle down below as well. Then next up, I have another pattern of Le Pole, which is the Alexa top. So this Alexa top is like a checkered design. So it runs down the middle. It has like 4 quadrants at the front. There's a high neck, and I think it looks so good. It looks so good. I love the red with the bright pink. I think that combination is so beautiful. It's knitted on a fingering weight with a fingering weight yarn on a 3mm needle, and it is knitted in a merino yarn, but you could definitely swap that in for like a more summery yarn like cotton or linen or whatever you desire, as long as it's a fingering weight, because otherwise you have to take care that you don't have too big of a gauge. Yeah, what else is there to say? XS until 4XL. So pretty size inclusive if you ask me. And I think it looks super good, and again, so on trend. It has like a high neck with like a folded over collar. It looks super, super good. Next up, I have a Jessie Made design, which is the Helix halter. And this top comes into a sweater with open shoulders, or like a top version, so without the sleeves. So you'll have the same construction like this, and it has like a lacy pattern with like stripes, so like stripes running down with like holes in it. It looks super, super nice, and I would prefer the top version. I actually applied to test knit this one, but I wasn't chosen. That happens a lot, so if you ever have that, just know that everybody has that all the time, that they don't get chosen for test knits. But I really like the way this looks. I love the top version because I love this high neck top. That's like right up my alley. I love that. It comes in sizes extra small to 5XL. It is knitted with a fingering weight yarn, and because of the lace, it doesn't use that much yarn at all. Well, except for if you knit all the sleeves too, then that will become a lot more yarn. But yeah, on a 3.25 or a US 3mm needle, or yeah, US 3 or a 3.25mm needle. And I love the way it looks. And again, Jessie Made is another designer that always has size inclusive patterns, so that's another one you can always go towards if you're in need of any of those. Then next up, I have a vest, and this vest is actually available for free. It's from it's called the Zara vest by Claudia Quintanilla, which is U Knit Toronto. U as in EWE. I've heard other people saying U. I would say like Iwi or something, but I don't know. Other people were saying unit, so I guess I'm saying unit. If anybody knows what that name, where it comes from and why it's called U when it's spelled EWE, let me know, because I don't know. So this top is a vest, and I saw that they styled it in the pictures with over a dress on like a beach. So it seems like the perfect springtimey top to have that transitional phase from like, because here it's not good enough yet to wear like all your tank tops. So this would be perfect for this time, like springtime, getting into summer, hopefully at some point. It is knit, I think, with a it is knit with a silk mohair together with a fingering weight yarn, which makes a fingering weight yarn together. That's what they say here. It's knitted on a 4.5mm needle, so I'm guessing you can also swap it out for a DK weight yarn, so maybe a cotton. It would be a lot heavier, but that's okay. And it is also like a vertical lace pattern, and it comes in sizes extra small to 4XL. I have another vest, and this one is a little wild, I think. I wanted to include another one of Le Pool. This is the Caesar top, and this looks perfect for knitting up all your scraps. And I would definitely knit it a little longer, but that's my personal style. Everybody just does whatever they want. But this top comes in a small until a 4XL. It's knit on the main size is a 8mm needle, so it will knit up super fast. And the ribbing in a 7mm needle, and it is yarn held together throughout. At least that's what she did, but it looks like it's just whatever gets you gauge on that 8mm needle, or another needle, so whatever makes you gauge, meets gauge for you. And they say it's knit on a bulky weight yarn. This one might not be for everybody, but I wanted to include it because it's also a beautiful little vest for the transitional period, and it will knit up super fast. And we're going into t-shirts. So I found another, I talked about that bundle before from Rowan Yarns. So this one is also in that bundle. It's this beautiful, beautiful t-shirt. It's called Salt by Lisa Richardson. And it's this long sleeve V-neck, like dreamy beach time t-shirt. I love the way this looks. It's knit with Rowan cotton cashmere. That's the recommended yarn. It's knit on a worsted weight yarn weight on a 3.5mm needle. So that makes it seem like it's going to be pretty heavy if you knit with a worsted weight on such a small needle. But the gauge is 21 stitches. So anything that can hit gauge, right? So if you want a lighter weight top, then I would just go for that. And it goes, it doesn't say the like extra small, etc., but it goes from like 28 inches to a 62-inch bust, or 71 centimeters to 154 centimeter bust. So yeah, and I'll link that bundle down below so you can find it, and also this top by itself. Then I have another top that like a t-shirt kind of thing, which is a seashell sweater. It's called a sweater, but it has short sleeves, by Mini Me Knit Design. And it is knit in a bulky weight yarn, but I would say same thing. If you hit gauge, then doesn't matter. I would say. So you can swap in any type of yarn. So they use the bulky weight wool yarn, but I would say swap in a cotton. Make sure you get your 15 stitches gauge that is needed for this one. It's knitted on 8mm needles, so it will also knit up super fast, and it comes in 10 different sizes, so super nice. And also maybe for the transition into springtime, into summertime, wherever you live around the world, or for autumn or fall, I guess, if you're watching it from the southern hemisphere. Then I wanted to go into bottoms. So I have a shorts pattern and a skirt pattern. The shorts pattern that I found is the Twisted Tea Shorts by Brianna Lupino, who is the Little Wolf Knits. And I know of this pattern because I watch Nitty Natty, like I say a lot on this channel. And she made the Twisted T-shirts, I believe, last year. It's a beautiful design, and I think it's super, it really like lets you calculate the different sizes within the shorts. So if your waist is a lot smaller than your hip area, or the other way around, they say how to get from one to the other. So you'll do increases until you get to whatever is your size. And she had a lot of test knitters. There's a lot of projects, well, 53, but there's a lot of different pictures on different sizes bodies, which is always really good to have, to like make you feel safe and secure, and that you are that the pattern caters for your type of body. And I think it really does. It shows so many different shapes and sizes of people, and it all looks really good. So I think Brianna did a really good job at making a very size inclusive pattern, because size inclusivity is not only like getting that one bust size in, but also like making sure that every part of every type of body is included in the pattern. So I think she did a really good job on that. And when I'm making shorts, I will make sure that I'm gonna make these because I think it looks really nice. It has all these like twisted rib details. I really like the way it looks. It also has like some details running down the side. Super good looking shorts. So yeah, but there's so many things you want to cast on, right? Then the skirt that I set out I had, that's the last pattern that I have by Le Pole. There's more patterns, but last one of Le Pole is the lime skirt, and this one has been on my radar for a long time, but I feel a little like self-conscious if I could pull this off. But yeah, so there's the lime skirt by Le Pole, which is an all over mesh skirt. So it's basically just like a little beach cover up. It comes in an extra small to 4XL, and I saw this picture on Instagram, I believe, where someone was wearing like a neon pink, and I'll see if I can find the picture and put it in. Someone was wearing a neon pink lime skirt over biker shorts, and it looks so good. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I could like feel comfortable in that, but it's still like pretty statement to go wear that out in public. But yeah, I'll see. It is knitted from the top down, and I think you knit a little bit of like the waistband, then you encapsulate and like put in an elastic in the waistband, and then you knit it shut, and then you go into the all over lace of the body. I think this would be a super quick knit, and then you'll have a whole long skirt. So that's really cool. They say they use a 5mm needle for a 26 stitches gauge. And yeah, it looks really cool. I just think, yeah, that's so awesome. I think Le Pole has so many cool patterns, but these were my 4 ones that I love. Then next up I have 2 sweater patterns, which I think they should be included in springtime, because sometimes you get cold still, and I can always wear this one, but you can always have another sweater, right? So this is one that I would love to cast on very soon, and it's the Traveler by Andrea Mowry. And I actually, that's far away, but I actually already swatched for it. It is the Traveler. It is, when I saw this one, I'm also subscribed to her newsletter. Andrea Mowry has a lot of like discounts and stuff. Especially when she releases a new pattern, she'll give you a discount code. So I bought this one with a discount code because I was like blown away when I received the newsletter. I was like, this is like the perfect hoodie. Like, I just wanted to share it on here too. Like, it's the perfect hoodie. It looks so sleek. And I think she used in her sample, she used like a neon, so the sweater's in red, as you can see, and the drawstrings are like this like neon orange, and it just like looks so sleek. So I was thinking I would do like a neon blue, like electric blue drawstring, but then the sweater different color would be so cool. And it is knitted in like rib, but then horizontal, so just like purl a bunch of rows and then knit a bunch of rows. And she did a really clever design on the shoulder where it really merged together. It is knit bottom up. That's not my favorite, but for this pattern maybe I'll do it. And there's also an option to omit the hood, but I think the hood makes the pattern, so but that's my opinion. And then I found a sweater that, as of still now, today, it is a free Ravelry download. So if you are quick, because I'm gonna release this today, this video, so if you are quick, you will be able to download it for free. It is the Elena pullover by Claudia Quintanilla, which is again Unit Toronto or Iwi, who knows. And it's this beautiful lace yoke, and then she uses a different color for the rest of the body. And there's also a sample of it in one color, but I think that difference between the two colors is just so beautiful. And it is knit in a mohair, so a soft silk mohair in this case. That's one of the suggested yarns. And it just looks so nice. So I think they used 2 strands held together, and they knit it on a 4.5mm needle. The sizes are extra small until a 4XL. And yeah, it is free still, so better run quick. I've downloaded it. It looks so beautiful, and I can also see me knitting this in like just a fingering weight yarn, like a fingering strand of a wool or something. It looks super nice, and then it will be airy anyway because it's a large gauge. So yeah. Then to round it off, I have 2 free sock patterns. So I found 2 patterns. The first one is the Ariosis socks by Lisa Schmidt. This is like the whole cuff, like the whole leg is like lace, and then the top of the foot is also lace. And it looks so beautiful. It comes in the sizes 36 to 42. So for socks, it's not very size inclusive, but I feel like with socks, you can always add in a little bit more length to fit it to your feet. So socks in general are a little bit more size inclusive. Although in my patterns, in my sock patterns, I try to be as size inclusive as possible. So always include in like until EU size 50 to make sure that everybody's included. But I think it's also easy to adjust it. So, and it's a charted pattern, and it's knit from the cuff down. It's a fingering weight yarn, so just a regular sock yarn would suffice. Then the second one is the Bryn socks by Heidi Allender. And this one is actually a knit in a sport weight yarn on the 3mm needle. And it comes in only one size, but I did want to include it to show off this beautiful lace front. So I think you can even adjust this pattern, like paste it on top of like your vanilla pattern, and just use the lace on the front. So it's a 52 stitch circumference on the 3mm needle. But I feel like you can get that one part that is the lace and just paste it on top of your regular vanilla sock pattern. Yeah, it looks super, super cool. It is knitted cuff down, so that's good to know. Yeah, and then a final little dessert of these patterns is a little accessory, and this one is also for free, available for free, and I think I'm gonna cast this one on super soon. It is the dumpling bag by Jeannie Lee, which is a designer from Purple Soho, and it's available for free on their website. And it is this really cool bag which you fold into each other, like it is just like a square bag, and one strap is a lot longer than the other one. So you fold the smaller one over the longer one, and then you hold it onto one of the straps. And I have a lot of cotton yarn that I want to use up that is like kind of in funky colors. So I feel like it would be really cool to make a bag out of that. And it is knit with a DK weight yarn on a 3.75mm needle. But I feel like if you have a larger gauge, then you just have a larger bag. So I feel like you can use this for anything you want, and then just have a bigger bag or a smaller bag or whatever you want. Maybe a miniature one on like 2.5mm needles or something. That would be really cool too. So those were my springtime knitting patterns. I hope you enjoyed that little list. I tried to go through them pretty quickly so you have all the inspiration with you very quickly, I guess. So if you like this content, feel free to subscribe. Were these inspiring? Please let me know what you think, and if you have some more size inclusive top patterns or other spring patterns, let me know so I'll be aware of them as well, and maybe I can share them more. I've also made a Ravelry bundle where all these patterns will be found, so I can link that one down below as well. And that was it for today. Have a lovely springtime. Hope it gets warm where you are. Bye!